All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you inside of our seven-figure Amazon brand. I'm going to be looking at the revenue that we did in 2024. I'm going to be looking at the profit. I'm going to be sharing some of the biggest insights and tips that I've got for you if you're a new or even an existing Amazon seller. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. I'm going to talk about the plan that we've got for next year to 4 or even 5x this brand. I'm going to be talking about, everything that we're going to be doing moving forward to grow it and just generally just dumping a load of learnings on you. And I think, if you're in e-commerce, if you're looking at getting into Amazon FBA, I think you're going to, find this very, very valuable. So if you don't know me, my name is Alex, and I'm a co-founder of a community called Honest FBA. If you are interested in looking at starting your own brand, check the video description or go to honestfba.com because we can help you, launch a brand in a legit sort of non-guru type of way. So let's get into this, right? So this is my Amazon account that you can see in the background here. So I'm going to do it again just so you know that I've not kind of sort of fudged it. So let's have a look. Custom. I'm going to go to the 1st of January and then I'm going to select 31st. I'm going to click apply. And you can see we've done just over $1.3 million. Now, honestly, this was quite disappointing. We were forecasting and hoping to do over $2 million this year. For a couple of reasons that I'll get into shortly, we fell short of that. And you can see we had this huge sort of peak in the spring, and then it kind of died off and flattened out. And then December is always our worst month. So our brand is in a niche that's relatively seasonal, right? It really does always peak in the spring. We've tried to guard against that now, and we've done a lot of things this year to launch new products that have got more demand in the spring, so that we don't have such a sort of seasonal sort of swing, right? Because it kind of sucks when you're doing $10,000 a day almost in the spring, and then you come down to like doing a third of that or less in the winter. And there are some products that we could launch in the winter. We decided not to do that because we wanted to invest and double these numbers next spring, which we are forecasting on doing. So these are the Amazon results in terms of the revenue, but I know everybody cares really about the profit. So if I filter this again, the profit is around $200,000 on that 1.3 million in revenue, right? So you can see down here, we've done 1.328 and it's about $200,000 in profits. In reality, it's a little bit lower than this. We've got some costs that have not been accounted for in this software, but this is a healthy Amazon business around that sort of level. And we're doing a lot to, really bring all of this up next year, right? So I'm going to talk about some of the plans that we've got for 2025, some of the key things that we did in 2024, and then I'm going to move on to some key pieces of advice that I've got for you if you're a beginner, or even if you're, if you're experienced. I think you're going to learn a lot from it, right? So one of the first things that I wanted to cover is how we took a pivot last year with the types of products that we were selling. So initially with this brand, we were doing the old private label model, right? Of getting stuff off Alibaba, sticking a logo on it and selling it on Amazon. And, we did really well with that for a long time. One of the biggest mistakes that we made was we actually invested a stupid amount of money, like $60,000, into a custom made product from China, made of plastic. And honestly, that product just went terribly. It was the biggest mistake we've made by far. And that's one of the reasons why these results are not better than they are, because we invested so much time and money and effort into that one product. And honestly, it didn't really come off. It was a huge learning for us. We'll never make that mistake again. And that's one of the key bits of advice that I would give you. Do not invest a lot of money into plastic custom mold products from China. There's far easier and far better ways to do Amazon than doing that, right? But after we had that, we started to realize, look, if we really want to take this brand to the next level, if we really want to level up our e-commerce skills, we've got to start selling subscribe and save products. And that's what we did at the beginning of last year. We started to pivot. We started to look, what subscription-based products can we sell? Because ultimately, as an e-commerce entrepreneur, this is kind of the holy grail, right? If you ask anybody with experience, getting subscription revenue in any business is what you want to be aiming for. This is why SaaS companies have such great value and they get great margins, because they've got repeat customers. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want people to come back to your brand. Most Amazon sellers that are selling stuff on Amazon, they don't actually have a brand. They've got a bunch of products that are on Amazon and customers have no idea who they're buying from. They're just searching a generic search term and they buy it once and then you never see them again. And we don't want to be that. We want to sell this brand in the next 2 to 3 years. And because of that, we moved into subscribe and save products. So we launched products that are consumable. So this is still under the same brand. The brand is a pet brand, and we now sell essentially like pet supplements. So we started to develop them last year, and they went amazingly well. They were by far the highest margin products that we've ever sold. We've built up all of these subscribers, so you can see now. Let's have a look at this one down here. You can see the subscriber count. So month on month, we're just getting more and more and more sort of subscribers. It's sort of flattened out in the last couple of few weeks, but now you can see we've got nearly 900 active subscribers. So that's people that are subscribed to our products that every month or every 2 months they just receive the product, and we've already paid all of the marketing to get them. They just keep ordering from us, and this is exactly what we wanted to pivot towards. So even though the year wasn't amazing for us in terms of revenue, in terms of putting the business in a place where we can now take it to that next level, it's been a huge success. So you can see here our subscriber retention rate. So after 30 days, 88% or 89% of people are still with us, which is a really great sign. After 90 days, it's 72%. So after 90 days, we've still got 72% of those people that subscribed. They're still subscribed, which is amazing. They're not just subscribing and then churning and leaving. So this has been the first major change. We've launched and pretty much replaced almost all of our products. By the end of next year, I don't think we will have any products that are not subscription-based products. We're pretty much just filtering out all of them because there's so much more opportunity in subscribe and save products. Now, the other thing that we've done, which I think is a huge thing, which I'm so happy about, is we've launched on Shopify, right? So this is something that we've planned for quite a while. Well, because we were so in the Amazon FBA world, we always saw it as this thing, to be honest, that was really difficult. We saw it as this like this, I don't know, this other world. We were Amazon sellers, we made videos on Amazon, and that was our bread and butter. And we wanted to focus on Amazon and just kill it on Amazon. But in reality, if you really want to build a big brand, if you really want to hone your skills as an e-com entrepreneur, you have to be launching your products on other channels. And that's just the reality of it. That's what we're teaching all of our members within our community now. That's what we're giving anyone that we're giving guidance on. We're giving the guidance and giving them the tools that they need to be able to move into this sooner than we did, right? So as you can see, on the 8th of November, we finally got some of our products live. We did have them on Shopify before that, but we weren't really running any advertising. We were basically just collecting the sort of branded search from people, seeing us on Amazon or whatever it was, and then coming to the website, just searching our brand name, coming to the website. But since the 8th of November, which is coming up to 2 months now, we've done just short of $68,000 in sales, over 1,000 orders. And what's been amazing is we've actually picked up over 300 subscribers. I think just under 300 active subscribers now. Let's have a look. So we've got 293 active subscribers. So you can see in the last 30 days, the subscriber count kind of going up, and then as we eased off the spend. So again, we're building subscribers on Amazon, and we're also building subscribers on Shopify. And honestly, Shopify is just incredible, because one of the key differences between Amazon and Shopify is every single time somebody buys from us on Shopify, we get their email. So then we can send them emails to sell them other products. And this has been absolutely crazy, right? Our average order value on Amazon, I think, is about $30, $35. Our average order value on Shopify, I think at the minute, is about $60. Let's have a look at the analytics. So let's have a look let's just do the last 30 days. So last 30 days, we've done just under 50,000. We've got a 15% returning customer rate. That's from the subscribers. You can see how many orders were. So $60. So our AOV, or the average amount that in one order people spend with us, is $60. On Amazon, it's only about $30. So it's double on Shopify. And that's because on Shopify, we can push bundles, we can push discounts. There's so much more flexibility with Shopify to really push people to spend more money. So I'm absolutely loving selling on Shopify. It really plays into our strengths. We're used to making ads. We make ads for our community business. So it's been very easy for us to transition across and make ads for our brand. And that's helped us, do really well. So the goal is to take this next year to 8 figures. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that. I'm not sure we're going to be able to go from like 1.4-ish over to that 10 million mark. That would be massive, but we want to get it up to the high seven figures mark. And then the year after, we want to take it and get it to that 8-figure run rate. And honestly, we're projecting in Q1 next year, combined Amazon and Shopify, we're projecting about $1.5 million, which is pretty much what we did in all of last year. We're projecting that in Q1 next year, which is obviously going to be absolutely incredible. So launching a Shopify has been completely eye-opening for me. The other major thing that's happened, which has been absolutely amazing, is our branded search. So what's actually happened is the more we've advertised on Meta, essentially through Facebook and through Instagram, the more we've advertised, the more our branded search has gone up, right? So this is our brand. This is people searching for our brand. So you can see here at the pretty much as we turned on the Meta ads, it went from about 225 searches a month to at the peak 3,000 searches a month. So what this means is that we're seeing so many people seeing the ads on their Instagram account or wherever, then they come to Amazon to buy, right? So we actually saw a boost in sales. We were able to put our prices up because people, were just searching for the brand and going and buying it. We could reduce our PPC, so it's actually made our Amazon revenue and profits higher than they were before by advertising on Meta, right? So just based on these results, the actual profit, just to give you kind of insights into that, you're probably thinking, well, how much profit did they make selling on Shopify? In the last 30 days, we've done just under $50,000. Now, we lost on this about $1,500, but we gained over 200 subscribers in this time. So this is one of the key differences between a business or a brand where you have subscription revenue versus one-time purchases where they don't come back. If people are not going to come back to your brand, you need to be profitable on that first sale. But technically, we could scale this brand by losing money on the first order, as long as people come back and they buy more stuff. Now, we are aiming to be either break even or profitable on the first order. And we're going to be doing more advertising, more creative testing. We're going to be testing the landing pages and stuff like that to get slightly profitable on that first order. But there's a lot of brands that are not profitable on the first order that do very well. And one of the ones that I'm a huge fan of is this brand called Purdy and Fig. Now, these guys, when they acquire a new customer, which is pretty much all through Meta or Facebook ads, they're actually losing every single time. So every single time they acquire a customer, they lose money. They lose £2 or £3 on that first order. But when somebody subscribes to their brand, which you cannot buy their products unless you subscribe, 12 months later, 40% of those people are still there. So what that means is in the long run, these guys are printing money. And that's all that matters. All that matters is in the long run, is your brand making money from that individual customer? So when at the scale of Purdy and Fig, yeah, they apparently did £40 million in 2024, which is absolutely fucking nuts. They literally just sell these little concentrate sort of essential oil cleaners. They send you this kit. Such a genius brand, such a genius, simple product. £40 million, pretty much all through Meta. There's a lot of great podcasts with the owner of this. So if you want to go on YouTube and search Purdy and Fig, you'll see the founder talking about it a lot. But that's kind of it. That's our goal. We're looking to grow this brand now. As I said, next year we want to do at least 5-6 million, and then we want to get into that 8-figure range the year after that. We're looking to get our products into retail. The customer seems to love our product so far. When we're running the Facebook ads, we're getting so many comments with people talking about how amazing it is. So that's kind of the summary. That's the profit. That's the Shopify results that we just launched. Now I want to talk about some tips. If you're watching this and maybe you've only just launched a brand and you're looking to scale, or you're completely new and you're thinking, should I get into e-commerce? I'm going to just be dropping some kind of 7 or 8 tips. I can't remember exactly how many I wrote, but let's get into it. So the first tip or kind of insight that I would give to you is you should be constantly looking for new trends, right? And this is honestly something that I've really learned, honestly, probably in the past 12 months. Before, when I first started Amazon, and this is what everybody does as a beginner, all you want to do is make money. So you're just looking for that first thing that you can find that you think you're going to make money on. And honestly, as a beginner, that's fine. But if I could give you some advice on starting out, is you want to be looking for emerging trends. And when I say trends, I don't mean fidget spinners. I mean changes in the way that consumers are buying products, right? Because, and let me show you some examples. So this is a tool called Exploding Topics. Again, if you've watched some of my other videos, you will have seen this, right? This basically aggregates tons and tons of data and puts it all together so that you can sort of find products and brands and niches that are starting to trend, right? Now, there's a couple of key points in here. So let's take this one, for example. This is an enzyme supplement. So you can see here over the past few years, it's steadily been rising. And then all of a sudden, it looks like it's about to boom, right? What you want to be doing is you want to be trying to find these things as they are down here. You don't really want to be selling and getting into products that are peaking at the very top of their popularity, right? That are just going nuts and everyone is trying to sell them. Unless you've got some sort of crazy, crazy advantage, which I will talk about in some of the points coming up, you really want to be finding something that's got that steady year on year growth, right? But it's really important that your whatever you move into, it's got that year on year growth. You don't want to be looking at products or niches that are just getting smaller and smaller, right? So there's a few ways that you can do this. You can use tools like Exploding Topics. You can use tools like Google Trends. Google Trends is I think, completely free. So if we look at like cold plunges, for example, cold plunges, were absolutely massive for a few years, and I'm not sure how they're doing now. Let's have a look. 2004 to present. So they're still doing not too bad, right? So they obviously peaked around this time here. When was that? January 2024. And it looks like they're still actually going pretty well. So this is a complete change in consumer behavior, right? Like this is something that's like come into the world of consumerism as a niche, and it's just got more and more popular. But imagine if you could start to see the signals and the signs that this was going to take off. Maybe you saw Joe Rogan talking about it. Maybe you saw just people that you knew started to talk about it. Anytime that you see something and you think, I've never heard of that before, and that's new, just go and look at the data and see what the data says, because you ideally want to be finding these niches as they're starting to take off. Or you want to find these niches that are taking off, and then you want to discover smaller sub niches within those niches. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean. So, creatine gummies is a massive, massive niche that's kind of just gone nuts in the past few years, right? So, creatine is obviously a supplement that people take when they go to the gym, or historically, it was just a product that people took when they were going to the gym. Over the years, there's been more and more research coming out that creatine has just got tons and tons of health benefits, even for people that are older that are not necessarily going to the gym, right? So you've got creatine, and then you've got creatine gummies. So what you can do if you're looking to maybe launch a new brand, or bring a new product to a specific market, is you can develop a product or a brand that goes after a smaller, different subset of the market. So, for example, you've got creatine gummies, then you might have creatine gummies for women. Then I think at some point there is going to be a creatine brand that targets specifically older people, right? I don't think anyone's going to target kids, because I don't think it's necessarily healthy for kids. But I think at some point, creatine gummies are going to get marketed towards older people, even if they don't go to the gym. So you can see the popularity of creatine gummies. It's literally just gone nuts in the past 2 years. 2 years ago, they weren't really a thing. There wasn't really any big businesses selling creatine gummies 2 years ago. And now there's tons of new brands because the demand is crazy. And this is what happens over time, right? Is people start to see ads, they buy the products, they tell their friends, and the demand for these things just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how this sort of stuff happens. So it's not always a bad thing that new brands are launching these products, because as new brands advertise, that makes the pie and the market bigger for everybody, right? So to go back to my original point, constantly look for new trends. Either try and find trends as they're emerging, or things that are kind of peaking, look for a smaller sub niche within that niche to launch something into. And an example off the top of my head is probably the best one I can think of is creatine gummies, creatine products for older people. I almost guarantee you are going to see a brand that does that in the next 6 to 12 months. There's already brands that are doing it directly for women. I'm sure you're going to see it for an older demographic. So that's the first, point of advice. Constantly look for new trends. The second one is learn how to create viral content, right? If you know how to create viral content, you've got a massive, massive advantage for two reasons. Reason number one, you can pick up your phone, you can launch a product, and you can market your own product for free. So you could actually build an organic brand and you could be the person making content for it. Now, now later on in the year, last year, we launched our second community, which is called Honest Creators. This is my handsome business partner, Jansen. We basically now have built a community of content creators. And if you want to learn how to create viral content, you can join Honest Creators or you can join Honest FBA. I'm not just plugging this as an advert. I am very proud of what Jansen's done here. Jansen's, I've never seen anybody go viral as often as Jansen has been doing it. He's so creative with these videos. It's been incredible. But to get back to my point, you should be learning how to create viral content because it not only helps you if you can launch a product that you can promote. So I've got this like kombucha brand here, right? If I wanted to, I could launch a kombucha brand and I could create viral content for it because I know how to make content. I'm making this video right now. I've been doing it for years. I know how to create content that gets attention, right? And it's a great skill for you to learn because you can create content for your own brands. Not only that, is it's going to help you hire other people to create content for your brand. So if you want to sell on Shopify, which I advise everybody does, you should be learning how to create viral content because you can make it yourself and then you can also hire other people and you're going to know how to write briefs for them, how to tell them what type of content to make. It's going to make your life so much easier if you do this. If you are interested, you should check out honestcreators.com. Or just get in touch, I don't know, write a comment, whatever, and I can give you a bit more information. But I think you should be learning how to create viral content. It's going to help you in so many ways. It makes you understand how to research customers. It's just such a valuable, incredible skill to learn. And it's never been easier. You can literally just pick up your phone, record a video, bang it on TikTok, and there's people making crazy, crazy money doing it. All right. Point number 3, be wary of new low review niches. Now, if you're only going to launch a product on Amazon, this is so important. Let me show you a niche that went absolutely crazy and a lot of people got burned. What was it? Tin foil organizer. It was, I don't know if that's the main keyword, but so this is a niche that went absolutely crazy. This is a brand, Space Aid, that dominated this niche for such a long time. They were making so much money. And this product was everywhere. It was on all of the research tools. It was on all of the YouTube videos from all of the gurus, just spouting nonsense. And what happened is so many people came into this niche and tried to launch it to make money. Because what they saw is they searched this. And at the time, I'm talking 2 years ago, at the time, Space Aid, this top brand, they had about 60 reviews and they were doing $250,000 a month, right? So there was all these people on the front page that had low review counts like this. They had low review counts and they were making a ton and ton of cash. So all of the beginner Amazon sellers thought, if I just launch one of these, because there's so many low reviews, I'm going to make so much money. Now, guess what happens when that happens? Everybody sees this new niche, then everybody launches those products. Everybody is fighting for the PPC so that the advertising costs go up. The Chinese suppliers see all of this increased demand, so they put all their prices up. It just becomes an absolute fucking nightmare, right? An absolute nightmare. And the reason that so many people do this is because they listen to bullshit Amazon gurus that don't know what they're talking about, that are still telling people to find niches with low review counts. So if you're only going to launch a product on Amazon, be very, very careful with low review niches that it looks like it's low competition, because it isn't going to stay low competition for long. There's going to be so many people launching products into those niches because those are the niches that everybody is looking at. There is a little bit of a caveat to this. If you have a way to drive traffic from outside of Amazon, whether that's through meta ads or whether that's through TikTok, viral content, you can almost ignore this because you can still do very, very well in these niches if you have that external traffic. But if you don't have that external traffic, you are going to get burned. Trust me. If you're looking to launch an Amazon brand and you want to just start on Amazon, just go after a niche that's not trending, that's not going crazy, because you're gonna struggle if you go into these niches with super low review counts, which is the way that all of the Amazon gurus and a lot of the Amazon gurus now are still telling people to do Amazon, right? So that's the third point. The next one is start small and think long term, right? So when I first started selling on Amazon, I launched my first product and I thought it had to be a success. If it wasn't, I was a failure and I was never going to make it work. But in hindsight, here's what you've got to do. If you're watching this and you're saying to me, Alex, it's overwhelming, there's so much to learn, good, right? That's good. You've got to zoom out and you've got to think long term. You've got to think about the next 5 years, 10 years. I'm about 5 years into this now. And I know I've got another 10, 15 years left in me. I'm always going to be launching products and launching brands. And every year you learn more. So my advice would be if you've not got a massive budget, even if you have got a massive budget, start small, because all you're doing as a beginner is you are learning the process and you are practicing and honing your skills, right? If you start, I don't know, boxing, you don't get in from day one and start sparring the best guy in the gym, right? You learn and you build up. You don't risk it all on day one. So if you're new, don't obsess over your first product. Don't obsess and think you're gonna, because chances are you don't have the skill set yet to launch a really good product and do really well. The chances are that your first product, it could go really well. Both of my products, the first two products I launched, they broke even. We've had people within the community crush it with their first products. And honestly, that's why you should join a community and you should get advice and you should get help, because it's going to increase your chances. But if you don't and you're watching this and you're like, I don't want to pay for a course, I want to do it on my own, good for you. That's what I did when I first started. But you're probably going to move a lot slower and you're probably not going to launch a successful product. But don't obsess over that first product. Quickly get a product to market to learn the skills and go through the process, and then think long term. You're probably going to launch 15, 20 products, 30 products over the next few years. So that first product doesn't really matter. It does matter if you've got $6,000 and you spend all $6,000 on that one product. Do not do that. Take a small chunk of your budget, launch a product, learn, try and make a bit of money, and keep going and going and going. Absorb as much information, subscribe to this channel so you just watch all the videos and think of this as a long-term game, right? That's such an important point. Launch consumables, right? I'm not going to go too in depth on this because I've already talked about it, but there's so many benefits. And I wish I could go back in time 2 years and go, yo, Alex, stop selling those other products. Just launch subscription-based products. Thank you, Alex. That's me talking to myself. I wish I could go back in time and launch and tell myself to launch. It makes everything easier. You get repeat customers. You can spend more on marketing. You can actually get higher profit margins because you're not scrapping around competing with all these Chinese sellers a lot of the time, right? You can source your products in the US. A lot of our products, 90% of our products now are sourced in the US. We're not sourcing them in China anymore. So there's so many more options with consumables. It helps you launch on Shopify. If you don't have a consumable product, it's going to be very difficult to launch on Shopify. It's just because you've got to drive all of that traffic from advertising. It's very, 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 very difficult. The caveat to this is if it's not a consumable product, I would go for a higher ticket product. We've got somebody in the group that has nearly done 8 figures in our community. He's about to sell his brand. He's actually in one of the videos. He's called Ben. I'll pop up if you go back and watch some of the other videos. His name's Ben. This year, I think he's done 8 figures. He's about to sell his brand, and it's not a consumable product. It's a high-ticket product. I think it's a $140 product, but that gives you that extra revenue to do the advertising and to spend money to acquire a customer. So either launch a consumable product or a higher ticket product, $70, $80, $100 plus. It's going to make your life so much easier. Don't be trying to launch these sort of products, these $30 products, competing with all these Chinese sellers. It ain't going to really work unless you can get an incredible price, unless you've got some crazy, crazy advantage, which most people won't. I would advise go down the consumable route, look for weird subscription products. People sell glue and they kill it. Just go and watch. I've got a video where I talk about how to find consumable and supplement type products where I explain how to do this really easy. Go and watch that, but take my advice, launch consumables or high ticket items. The next one is to study drop shipping and D2C. Now, I wish I had done this earlier. I used to think drop shipping was bullshit, right? I used to think it was a load of bullshit by these Lamborghini driving gurus. Most of them are bullshitters, right? Most of them are. The vast majority are. But I wish I had studied this before, because now our brand is starting to become a real brand. We've got Shopify, we've got TikTok, and we've got Amazon. We're doing these three things, and it's made everything 100 times easier. And I wish we'd done this 12 months ago, 2 years ago. And if I actually did start studying dropshipping years ago. That was how I got into Amazon FBA. I tried dropshipping, it didn't work. I tried Amazon, and it was way easier at the time. Um, and yeah, that's essentially how I got to this point. But I would study dropshipping, and when I say dropshipping, I'm not saying do dropshipping. I still think it's better to launch your products on Amazon and build out around that and use Amazon as the main sales channel. Um, I think it's very difficult to dropship products now and do really well. But what you're studying is the advertising, how to build a website, how to make meta ads, how to make viral content. Dropshippers are incredible at doing that. So go and subscribe to these other guys. Don't just only watch my channel. Get yourself a breadth of knowledge in all of these different things. We're teaching all of the dropshipping stuff and the D2C stuff within our community now, because honestly, we've realized how valuable it is. We didn't want to just be, just an Amazon community. So study these other models, drop shipping and D2C. And the last one is create a unique looking brand. That caught me off guard. I thought it was something else. Create a unique looking brand. So one of the things that's really helped us out is our brand just looks so unique. It doesn't look like anybody else's in the space. The packaging is incredible. It stands out so much. It's helped us in every single way. People love the packaging. They comment on it all the time. And on Amazon and in our adverts, it just really, really stands out. So don't copy other people's brands. Use inspiration from other brands in other niches, but create a brand that looks unique. And that's the final point. The eighth point that I didn't write down was just get fucking started, man. Honestly, I know everyone says it and it's a bit cheesy, but if you keep putting it off, if you've made it this far into this video, you're obviously interested, right? You obviously want to launch a brand if you haven't already. If you want to do that with us, that's great. Check out the video description. We can help you out, but just get started. If you start now, you will not regret it in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. I wish I'd started 2 years earlier. The best time to start was yesterday. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Go and watch this video that I did recently where I talk about Amazon plus Shopify, some of the other stuff that I've mentioned in here. Have a great 2025. Let's all crush it. Let's all keep it real. I don't know why I said keep it real. Let's just crush it. Let's have a good year, good health, and I'm ready for the new year. Let's go. See you in the next one.